This one will be returned by Sims. And he's out to the 26, and that is it. We're going to replay it. Bigger rule change as we've seen in the game in a long, long time. You've got players that are lined up basically 5 yards from each other on the receiving team side of the 50. They're trying to make the kickoff an active, dynamic play again. Fairbairn will kick it away with Stroman and Scott waiting deep. Nobody can move till it's touched. Now everybody moves. And this is a return by Scott, and he gets to the 25, and that is it. When you talk to players.
You and Michael Jordan spent a lot of time together.
Acknowledge me.
What is up? It is a Royal Rumble Friday on the King's Court. Ryan in Sacktown with you. I hope all of you are ready for a loaded, jam-packed show. Do me a favor, give us a thumbs up, retweet the show, give us a like if you don't mind. Coming to you live on If You Don't Like That. And we are brought to you by Bennett's Westside Grill in Rockland. My boy Dennis yesterday, he got more than a couple of retweets from me. Dennis, that was a meal for two, my man. You had a couple appetizers, a couple of drinks, or maybe you just took an Uber. I don't know. But good on you, Dennis. Make sure you all go check out Bennett'sRestaurants.com. You can learn more about their other locations, 2 other ones, by the way, and Prime Rib. All this weekend brunch, $49, 2 days, bottle of champagne. Pretty damn hard to beat. You can also make reservations on the website as well. So huge thanks to Bennett's for sponsoring the show today. And a special thank you to all of you that have actually retweeted the show, commented on the show, etc. Really excited for today. Like I said, we have got a ton going on. At the top, we heard some of the new kickoff rules and or what you saw last night on the Hall of Fame game. For my money, that was one of the better first halves I've seen in a Hall of Fame game. That was not sloppy. You had some offense. Bane, you know what, brother? I got you. You said ladies and gentlemen? Is that what you said? Here you go.
Ladies and gentlemen, God, stop the pain. Introducing
Bane in the chat. Yes, welcome to the main event. Let's get ready to rumble. So the Royal Rumble Friday thing, by the way, it's at the end of the show. We let anybody come up. If you want to come up, take up a square. The most people we have had up on a show is 9. That's right, 9 people. So can we beat it today? I'm hoping so. So we've got a ton of content between the NFL. I started off with that, but I actually want to backtrack and start here. The Lakers and the Mamba Foundation have debuted a new Kobe Bryant statue today, and it is absolutely phenomenal. In fact, I'm going to put it up really quickly for you so you can check it out. It is beautiful. In fact, I would say it is one of the most stunning statues I've ever seen in my life. So we're going to leave this up for just 1 second. Bane, I'm going to take your chat down. And yes, Adam will be here. We'll be breaking down SummerSlam as well. So looking forward to all that. But getting back to the statue, here it is. Tell me that is not stunning. What an amazing tribute. Not just to Kobe as a basketball player, but to Kobe as a person. Kobe as a father. And how about Gianna, known as Gigi? She certainly had a hell of a future in front of her in basketball. Unfortunately, life cut far too short for both of them. But I don't know about everybody else. When I think about Kobe Bryant outside of the basketball court, outside of the baselines, this is the picture that comes to mind for me. Him sitting courtside with Gigi. So give me your thoughts on it. Well done. Extremely well done. And in fact, coming off of the first statue where there were some mistakes on it, that one to me is just perfect. So credit to the Lakers, credit to all involved. Yes, did I just give credit to the Lakers? What the hell is wrong with me? But some things transform sports, and that's one of them to me. So good job there. So kickoffs. Let's transition to this really quick. What did you think of it? I gave my thoughts last night with Grant briefly. I'll expand on those in a few minutes, but I want to get your guys' thoughts. Do you think it's going to make football more exciting? Do you think it's going to slow football down? Because you're going to probably have a few more penalties, whether it's a legal procedure. Because remember, both teams cannot move until the ball is caught, which makes things super, super interesting. You got a couple of up backs that are in front of the returner. So you got to imagine they're calling out fire or whatever it is. But as a blocker, to have your back to the returner, that's interesting. You got to wait for him to kick it. So let me know. By the way, is there a run on Colin Johnson? Is he like available in any fantasy leagues right now? I know some of you rushed to your waiver wire immediately when he had 2 touchdowns in that game last night for the Bears. Pretty impressive. In fact, I thought the quarterback play, you can't knock it whatsoever. Ripping. He was 11 for 15 for 166 and 3 touchdowns. Not too bad. And then the game was cut short. The Bears ultimately won 21-17. However, they had some extreme weather that ran into the area in Canton. No reason to restart that game after those guys are all warmed up. It's a glorified scrimmage. But the thing I loved about it is it gave the guys that probably would not be getting or are not getting a ton of reps in practice, gave them the opportunity to shine, because both of those teams got an extra preseason game. So they will have 3 more ahead of them. So all good in the hood. It's actually one of the better Hall of Fame games that I can remember. Basketball. Team USA tomorrow takes on Puerto Rico, 8:15 in the morning. It's going to be an early one if you want to check that out. That should be not even close. That should not be a game. Joel Embiid will be starting. Puerto Rico, not very good. So Team USA should be rolling through that group. No problems asked. Now, as for the Olympics, got some controversy going on, and I want to have a conversation about it. In fact, I'm going to read an article here in a little bit, and I want you to try to draw the line between what we're going to talk about, because it is a little bit of a hot topic. It's something that can really, what's the right word? People feel strongly one way or the other. So take that away from it, because this is actually, to me, a little bit more nuanced. It's a different type of situation. So we're going to go through that. You probably know what I'm talking about. It does involve women's boxing. By the way, Novak Djokovic, he moves on to the finals in tennis in the Olympics. He has a date with Carlos Alcaraz again. Remember, Djokovic, the one thing he does not have on his record is a Olympic gold medal. He wants that so bad. The nation of Serbia wants that so bad for him. I'm actually pulling for him. Alcaraz is going to have many more Olympics in front of him. So that will be a fun match to watch. And you know what's hilarious? I watched some of the match today with Djokovic, and he just had knee surgery. It was a torn meniscus. I think it was 5 weeks before Wimbledon. And with all the medical technology today, all the different types of tape, everything that, you know, they're able to do to get players back on the court or on the field, he's just wearing a neoprene pullover knee brace. Go figure. I had to laugh at that because it's so simple, but it speaks a lot to the type of player that he is. The NFL, by the way, they got a huge ruling. They had the Sunday ticket lawsuit, class action suit, overturned by a judge. Well, not overturned, but the judgment overturned. We can talk about that. And because I talked a little bit of tennis in the Open, the question of the day for all of you is this: what do you think would be easier, returning a serve from a pro tennis player or hitting a fastball from an MLB pitcher? Both of them pretty impossible. They are Everest climbs. But which one would you take out of the two? And I'm going to throw a bonus question in. It's just going to be 3 words, and I know it's going to elicit a lot of response. Can or bottle? Can or bottle? What is your preference? Can or bottle? Because I had that discussion today with somebody. Yes, I was at Corn Dog's workplace again, Costco, this morning. So happy to have everyone here. Let's hop into the chat, see what's going on. Money in the Bank Mondays? That's usually Rido Mondays, but I mean, sure, we could try a Money in the Bank Monday, by the way. Oh, and if you didn't know, 81 days until basketball season's back. That doesn't mean the Kings will be back in 81 days, but opening night in 81 days. So, as you know, because you're here now, Kings Court Live. We do this Monday through Friday, 2 o'clock Pacific. Usually, we also do, definitely during the season, Kings Court shoot-arounds, which are separate. Those are on our audio platform that can be found on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, whatever your choice for podcasts are, you can find it there. We are back. There is a new episode up there today, and it's explaining what we're going to be doing leading up to the basketball season. I'll give you a quick rundown of it since you're here now, but make sure you go back and check that episode out from this morning. What we're going to do, starting tomorrow morning, I am going to do a quick review of every Kings game last season, since we're right in that neighborhood, 82 games, we're 81 days out. We're going to review briefly every game, what was right, what was wrong. We're going to talk about the progressions of, things that maybe concerned us or maybe we didn't notice early on, and how they kind of translated throughout the season. And then we'll also talk a little bit about how things might be different this season with the changes to the roster. So that will be a lot of fun. Kings Court shoot-arounds are back. So make sure you get on the podcast spot. Please go listen to those. We will start tomorrow with the Utah Jazz game. Game 1. Y'all remember that? We thought the offense was back in Sacramento, baby. So anyways, give us a call if you would like to. Again, Adam will be coming on in a little bit to break down SummerSlam. We have not talked about SummerSlam yet. That is tomorrow night. So we'll be hitting that as well. Let's see. Let's go back to the chat, see what everybody is up to. I love how this community is growing, just saying hi to each other. HH Wife Advice Talk Tuesdays. No, those are Jerry Reynolds Tuesdays. I don't need any more marriage advice from one haunted horse. My man, that guy, how many times has he been married? Like 17? Is that right, Derek? I'm not sure. I lost count. Let's see. Mark, what's up, man? After he passed, with all the stories, I didn't know that he helped so many people in the league. Yeah. Sabrina Askew was one of the people that talked a lot about that. She played for Oregon at the time, but he did a lot with the Mamba Academy. He really paid it forward. I thought Michael Jordan, although, Jordan easily turns into a GIF these days anytime he cries or comes close to it, I thought Michael Jordan really laid out what the old school guys, what it's always been, how you pay it forward. And I am a big advocate of paying it forward. We can talk about that another time. But Kobe was always in Michael's ear, like always in Michael's ear. And it could be 3 a.m, 3 p.m. It didn't matter. But conversely, Kobe paid that back to some younger players. You know, Jason Tatum talks about all the time how Kobe was his absolute idol, but that's just one player. I mean, there's so many that think about the amount of players that probably have not shared their experiences and what Kobe has done with them. And he was the ultimate competitor. There's no doubt about that. Derek, that's going to make punt returns a lot more valuable. Yes, indeed. It probably will. Remember, there's a lot of rules that have changed. We ran them down yesterday. Most significantly, probably what they can do booth assists now with the officials. Definitely now late hits out of bounds. If the player was in bounds, they can pick up the flag. Somebody can buzz the official without a review. Same thing goes for hits to the head with the quarterback. That's been a hot topic. Amongst other things, intentional grounding. That's another one that can be looked at via replay by the official in the booth. I'm glad SF has one in Juwan Jennings. Dude plays almost every play. He brings it. Hey, you know, that Niners team, let's be frank about it. The Niners are like that really nice, really expensive sports car, like really expensive sports car that is the coolest, fastest, nicest car on the market when it is running right. But literally, a little bolt comes loose, $400,000 of maintenance later. You get what I'm saying? The perfect times with that vehicle can be few and far in between if everything is not working. And so that to me is why you absolutely have to get Trent Williams signed. I am surprised that's still going on. And same conference, but I'm going to give the Cowboys, or not the Cowboys, I'm going to give a Cowboy. Yes, John Finch. I'm going to give a Cowboy some love. That's Dak Prescott. I don't think he's particularly great on the field, or he's not as good as a lot of people think he is, and his playoff record shows that. But this whole situation with his contract, he has handled that very, very well. And you know it's not easy dealing with Jared. You know it's not easy dealing with the Dallas media. So credit to Dak for what he has done with that. We're getting our answers. I'm a can man too, Adam. I'm cans, man. The bottles heat up. I'm seeing this cools faster sometimes. Let's see. Most people would pick tennis. Nobody wants a hard ball at 95 thrown at them. That tennis ball isn't particularly soft either. That thing comes at about 115, 120, depending on who is serving it. So I don't know which one I would take. I would probably, because the accuracy of the pitchers in MLB is so good, I would probably go that way. Because seeing these guys, their reactions times, you're talking 0.3 of a second to react to some of these tennis serves. Absolutely incredible stuff. Let's see. Chomping at the bit for, well, then get in here and do your wrestling thing, brother. What's up, Jack Attack? Happy to have you here. Are the Kings the best in Cali? Interesting question, Jack. Let's talk really quick about the odds for the Kings. Oh, you know what? Do I have them? Yes, I do. Look at that. Good job, Rhino. All right, so the odds. Let's look at the odds to win the Pacific Division. Golden State Warriors, plus 400. Lakers, plus 350? What? Clippers, plus 500. The Suns, I know that's out of state, plus 210. Terrible bet there, by the way. Awful bet right there. And then your Sacramento Kings, plus 500. So, as we sit today, do I think they are the best team in California? Yes, I do. I absolutely do. I know you can make an argument that the roster has not improved enough, but I still go back, Jack, to how many things last season were self-inflicted? How many things are correctable? And there is a lot there, a ton there. I could go on a 10-minute rant about free throws, structured offense, yada, yada, yada. But bringing DeMar DeRozan in, that automatically is going to change things. Think about how many times the Kings, it was like hot potato around the perimeter. They didn't know what to do with it if De'Aaron Fox wasn't on the floor or if Monk was out while he was injured. they would just pass it around, and then 8, 9, 7 on the shot clock left, and terrible shot. Happened far too many times. DeMar DeRozan is an answer to that. Guy that his own shot and can all create for other players. So yeah, I do think the Kings are the best team in California. You can't count Golden State out ever because of Steph Curry. I know he's not playing particularly great right now in the Olympics, but he will certainly come around. The Lakers are going to be Lakers. I don't see how we can even start thinking about basketball with them until some of this off the court drama gets figured out. And by off the court drama, I mean Bronny James possibly being on the active roster. That's going to cause a big rift in that locker room because that is a roster spot that the Lakers desperately need to use on a player that could be productive. Bronny James cannot be productive right now in the NBA. He cannot. Tell me different. Try to argue the other point. I am happy to have that discussion with you. So for that, I'm going to say the Kings are the best in Cali. Jack, what do you think? Do you guys think the Kings are the best in Cali? Now, the Clippers, to me, they are the wild card. The Clippers played really good basketball at points last year, but you worry about the injuries. You saw them panic after Paul George took off to try to put a team together, get that roster filled out. And remember, the Clippers are moving into a new building this year. So there's going to be a lot of attention on them. And, Steve Ballmer is going to want to have a big season to help pay off that arena with more toilets in it than any other arena in America. Pretty amazing stuff there. Derek also agrees with me that they are the best in Cali. Mark hopping back in. A mechanic called Bill Voyevich messed with 49ers car. Okay, perfect. I know I didn't read that right. I'm going quick. Johnny Finch, what's up, my man? 25-ounce cans. You don't mess around now, do you? All right, I see you. MC, I appreciate you, and I owe you something, MC. Bad Rhino. Rhino.
That don't make no sense.
You got to take care of that, Rhino. I will take care of that and more, MC. I got you, brother. Thank you very much. Please give us a thumbs up. Give us a like. Would really appreciate it. And I know Grant would appreciate that as well. Jack Attack hopping back in. We are a top 3 team in the West if we can fix the free throws. I wouldn't go that far, but they certainly could be. Tim Legler thinks so. Here's the thing. Which teams that were at the top of the West last year do you think could fall off? One of them I have circled, and I feel really weird about doing it, but it's Denver. Denver has lost a lot. You lose KCP. That is a big loss. That is their Malik Monk. Then their first-round draft pick, who was expected to get some decent minutes or at least be the backup there, tears his Achilles in Holmes. And so, to me, Denver, you're going to have things. You're going to be good. Don't get me wrong. You've got one of the best players in the basketball in the world. But there's always a couple of different times in the season where Jamal Murray misses time. And when Jamal Murray and Jokic aren't on the court together, Denver struggles. So I'll be interested to see how they're able to kind of replace some of that firepower, because they're going to have to do it in a big way. So who steps up for them? We will see. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, gotcha. He is the referee. I remember him now. So I think Denver, you watch out for. Now, the team, it's widely talked about, the Grizzlies. I really worry about what the Grizzlies are going to do. Now they sign Luke Kennard. You got Ja Morant on fresh legs. Zach Edey. I'm not saying Zach Edey is going to be a great player, but I'm saying Zach Edey is going to make that team better. And I'm also saying Zach Edey isn't Steven Adams. I think it's enough to where he can play a very similar role. And the issues the Kings have had with Steven Adams in the past. So it'll be interesting to see what they do. Does Houston come up, make any noise? We've already talked about the Clippers, the wild card that they are. The Lakers, I don't think there's going to be anything really there. Golden State, they're going to be Golden State, but the Kings should definitely finish above them. And then Minnesota. Minnesota is an interesting one to me because I'm not so sure that Karl Anthony Towns is a part of their long-term formula. And also, remember, last year was the first year that it really worked with the two bigs. And so I'm wondering how that is all going to play out. Anthony Edwards, amazing player, stepped out of a time machine from the 1990s. He is a prototypical 1990s two guard, so he will be around. I mean, his fundamentals are incredible. You see him in the lane, multiple pivots, and then his athleticism. I have never seen freaky plays like I have seen from Anthony Edwards. So he will still be a handful to deal with. So the West is going to be interesting. The Kings could sneak up. I think the one thing that we can all agree on about the Kings is coming into the season last year, they weren't going to surprise anybody, right? You break the playoff drought. You take Golden State to 7. You know, the beam, the town is on fire again. And then you get to the season and they've got a target on their back. We've talked about how teams want to come in and shut the beam off. They don't want it to get lit. They realize that Sacramento has some of the best fans, not some of the best and most knowledgeable fans in the NBA, and the loudest too, in my opinion. But now you've got Fox, you've got Domas, and you've got Monk, all three that feel disrespected. So I think there's going to be a chip on this team's shoulder, and I think that they have a little bit of that underdog persona back in them. So take that for what it is. I am looking forward to it. How do you think Drew Timme complements the roster? Timmer. He's a Gonzaga guy. I liked what he did in the summer. I don't think he does much. If anything, he's probably going to be a G League guy for the Kings, which is fine. It's exactly where he should be. With Sabonis, you can't have Timme. They're too similar. And Timme is not Sabonis, but their games are, it's kind of that Euro style big. So you got to watch that as well. But who knows? It's a long season. And, the one guy we're not talking about is Devin Carter. I said this morning on the Kings Court shoot around. I don't see, in my opinion, Devin Carter on the court this season. I think it's going to be a redshirt season for Devin. He's not being reevaluated. He's not being reevaluated until January. People are misconstruing that. It's like, oh, he'll be back in January, All-Star break. He'll be good to go. No, they're not reevaluating the shoulder until January. So my guess is he's a red shirt. And if the Kings need him desperately when he's possibly ready to go, then the Kings are in a much bigger problem. So take him away for the year, in my opinion. And how does Mike Brown? Let's talk about that. Dude, we're assuming that he's going to be a part of the rotation. And for the sake of this conversation, we will keep that assumption. It's going to be difficult for Mike Brown to put him or work him into a rotation that far into the season. That is not an easy thing to do, even with guys that are stars on the team. How many times has Grant told the story about Chris Webber when he came back? Rick Adelman wanted him to come off the bench, and Chris was not having it. Chris wanted to start, and it really screwed up the karma with the team. It screwed up the flow. Johnny, what's up? We're getting into the Kings conversation. I'm all good with that. Let's see, Ryan, who can the Kings sign? Thonmaker or Makir Maker versus which of the three low-cost bros, if the Kings defense rebounds, blocks to not take shots for the Kings core, 4th or 9th bench player? I don't think any of them, to be honest with you. I think I like, and this is my opinion, I like the options the Kings have now a little bit better. So, Adam, are you ready to go? Give me a thumbs up if you're ready to go, because your camera is like this. Are you good? Adam, are you there? Are we doing our wrestling segment? Let's try to bring Adam up really quick. Nope. Adam is frozen. Adam, am I going to have to do the SummerSlam preview on my own? You know I can, but it's fine. So anyways, let's talk a little bit about the Olympics. I want to get to this story. So we talked about it last night. Jay brought it up to Grant and I on the Open Forum show. If you haven't heard, there is a boxing that is female. She happens to have an XY chromosome. She's XY. So she lives her life as a female. All of her bodily functions are intact as a female and are regular. However, if you remember, in the first match, the Italian boxer that she was facing pulled out of the fight within 45 seconds. So there has now been a ton, and I mean a ton, of reaction to this and how this situation's being handled. There's been some rush to judgment on some people's part, like Logan Paul. He had to backtrack for something he said. Pat McAfee as well. There's been opinion pieces that have been written all over the nation on it. And the Italian boxer who faced her has now come out and spoke to the media about it. So I want to read this story to you, and I want to go through this really quick. So this is via the New York Post, and title of the story: Pulling her punches, Italian boxer has regrets after 46-second fight caused Olympic gender controversy to explode. So Angela Carini is trying to calm the storm around Amain Khalif. She is the boxer, by the way, who is a female, however, has an XY chromosome. All this, the Italian boxer whose 46-second loss to Khalif on Thursday kicked off an Olympic controversy regarding her Algerian foe's gender. She offered an apology on Friday. Quote, "All this controversy makes me sad," Carini told the newspaper Gazzetta dello Sport. Look at that. That's a good Italian name. Quote, "I'm sorry for my opponent too. If the IOC said she can fight, I respect that decision." Carini quit the 66-kilo preliminary fight after absorbing Khalif punches to her face and then tearfully fell to her knees in the ring and declined the fight as unjust. That has amplified questions surrounding Khalif's status. She was disqualified by the Russian-led International Boxing Association at the 2023 World Championship due to claims of having XY chromosomes and elevated testosterone levels. Khalif is recognized. Key point here. Khalif is recognized as a female by the IOC. Quote, "The Algerian boxer was born female, was registered female, lived her life as a female, boxed as a female, has a female passport," end quote, IOC spokesman Mark Adams said Friday. The controversy is showing no signs of slowing down ahead of Khalif's next match against Hungary's Anna Luca Herman on Saturday. Quote unquote, "I'm not scared," Hamori told reporters. Hamori, yes. After her trouncing of Australia's Marissa Williamson Pullman, quote, "I don't care about the press story and social media. If she or he is a man, it will be a bigger victory for me if I win," end quote. That hasn't stopped the Hungarian Boxing Association from filing letters of protest to the IOC and Hungarian Olympic Committee over the quarterfinal while mulling legal challenges on Khalif's status. Okay, so here's where we're at. Let me kind of summarize this. I don't think I need to summarize it too much. But to me, this is a completely different situation. This is not somebody who chose to change genders. Okay. This is somebody that was born a certain way. This person had no choice. It's how they were born. They didn't choose their chromosomes. There's other, as Jay pointed out yesterday. Yes, Jason, yes, absolutely. Yes, that's what I was trying to say. Everything is intact as a female and functions as so. And that's how she lives her life. But there is now outrage because of the murky waters here. Okay. And I mean, really murky waters we're dealing with. And in my opinion, why I said we need to be careful about how we have this conversation is this conversation does not go into the other conversation. These conversations are mutually exclusive. This is a completely different situation than somebody that changes their gender and then wants to fight as that gender. That's completely different than this. However, there is still a lot of backlash that's coming at this. And so I want to know where all you stand. I can tell you where I stand. I blame the Olympics for this. I completely blame the Olympics. To me, when I was growing up watching opening ceremonies, it was about the Olympians. It was about seeing them march into the stadium. It was about seeing them carry their flag. It was about learning the different people or learning about the different people on the team. What I'm saying, it was about the sport. This last opening ceremony was not about the sport to me. And there were things that I found offensive, and it had nothing to do with gender. I'll put it that way. Had nothing to do with gender. However, the Olympics have been criticized because there was a part of the opening ceremony that dealt with gender. And so now you have this story. And the problem that I have is the IOC has approved, the International Olympic Committee has approved her to fight. They know the backs. And then this happens. And I feel bad for the Italian boxer. She didn't understand the scope of what was going on. She didn't get the entire situation because she probably didn't have all the information. But because that exploded, now you have an individual who has worked their way to the Olympics to be one of the best in the world and compete for a gold medal, who should have some level or some expectation of privacy. Here in America, we have HIPAA. You cannot disclose medical information about other people without their consent. Yet now, this person's entire medical story is in front of the world. And it's being mixed into the same conversation that we have all had. And I will be very clear on my stance. I do not think that anybody that chooses to change genders should be allowed to fight that gender. I do not believe that should be okay. We'll be clear on that front. However, this to me is so much different. And I feel like it's not being handled with the white glove, top-notch, soft service that it needs to be handled. So what are all your thoughts on this? This is a firestorm. She is set to fight again this weekend. Want to get you in on the conversation. Yes, she did have elevated levels of testosterone, but it's because she has an X and Y chromosome again. So it's nothing she can do about it. That's how her body has always been. Let's see, up to 2.6 times harder, 162%. of an XX punch. I understand that, MC, but that's where this line gets tricky. It is an XY punch, but it's an XX. So uh, should that person be allowed to compete for something that they cannot control? It is something that was biological. It was something that they were born with. And I don't want to get into the other conversation about whether you're born with some things or not, because again, these conversations are mutually exclusive to me. So that's where I feel this one is really, really hard to judge. Also disqualified from the IBA for her test, the testosterone test. Correct. It was used to GE about the sport of competition. Yeah, I don't disagree with you. Absolutely. CT Dog. Actually, it's very simple. Algeria boxer has XY, so the boxer is a genetic male and psychologically female. No, CT Dog. The boxer is physically female, yet she has XY chromosomes. So again, that's where it's different. And the IOC allows transgenders in the Olympics. This is the worst Olympic ever. Why is it the worst Olympic ever? Just curious. If it ruins the sport, or it ruins the sport if she gets to fight. Okay. This is what your reaction on where you guys come in on this. If she was born a biological gene and she hasn't had any kind of external testosterone or other therapy, then it's a nothing burger. See? And we've got people on both sides of the fence. And certainly I don't expect the Olympics to have a protocol for this type of situation. I don't. This is what do they call it? I forget what it's called, a white herring or something like that. It's one of those very unique situations. Algeria boxer medical story needs to be out in the world for the safety of all fighters. So it's important, and safety of all. But again, CT Dog, she is completely female. She has a gene defect, like some children born with Down syndrome. My son has autism. That is not a gene defect, but there's things that you are born with that you have no choice about. So, and Jason hops back in. Abnormal for sure, but that isn't enhanced advantage yet. So I don't like the rush to conclusion here. I think that's what I'm trying to get across. Let's see. Is an XY in females an advantage in all sports? Well, bone structure, for one. If you have an XY, males have denser bones. That's one thing for sure. Now, I can't speak to the hormonal changes that happen to the body because, again, this person is completely female, 100% female, but has an XY. So I can't. I'm trying to put it as PC as I can here. I'm trying without getting into details. So it's a really interesting story. Let's bring Corn Dog in. What's up, Corn Dog?
So I feel like a situation like this is best determined by competitors' vote. If they want to say, we'll take the challenge or we won't. I feel like that's more of a thing where it's like, because they're the ones that have to fight her at the end of the day, one-on-one. And if they all vote and feel like it's an unfair advantage against them, then let them speak for that, or let them say, you know what, we'll take that challenge, and if we lose, we lose.
I don't think that's unfair to a degree. I mean, this is an open forum. We're not solving the problem, but I'm open to hearing solutions and your guys' thoughts on it. So
yeah, that's just kind of where I kind of go with it is, if like, you got you got to just, let it go to maybe the people that are competing. Let them kind of decide, because that's who they're fighting, one-on-one. They're the one getting their face pounded or pounding someone else's face. It's a very rough sport. The heavy on the injuries, heavy on brain damage and stuff. Look at Muhammad Ali.
It's a good point.
It's a good point. It's not, this isn't, badminton or, synchronized swimming. Boxing definitely has a higher degree of, physicality, injury rate, all that. We all know that it's one of the top, like, probably 5 dangerous sports.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Okay, I got 2 things for you. BJ has a question for you. Why'd you change your name? And I have a question for you. What's up with the eye black, brother?
Eye black, man.
What are you doing, man?
It is eye
You're
black.
All pumped
day,
up.
Man.
You're ready to go.
Yep. I'm
right.
ready, man. I was the number 1 guy, man. Ready, man.
Love it, dude.
Gotta have your game face.
Dude, speaking of anomalies, I saw a massive one today. I was at Costco. I was at your office, and the line to check out or to walk out was completely backed up. And by the way, you can't get out of Costco under $100. It's impossible. They rope you in. Like, you end up like, oh, I just need a couple things. No, $100 later. But anyways, the person that was checking the receipts, it was an older couple. She was trying to say there was stuff in their cart that was not paid for. And they're like, well, we had somebody check us out. Like, what are you talking about? And so it went back and forth and it backed up the line. But I have never seen somebody stop for something that may or may not have been paid for.
That's crazy, but I maybe that's an Elk Grove thing, because I know in Stockton, if they would have just got out. They would have just not said anything and got out. That may be an Elk Grove thing, because Stockton definitely would not. No, I don't think anyone would, not count their blessings. They'll take those blessings and go.
That don't make no sense.
So Corn Dog, are you saying go to Stockton if you want free stuff from Costco, my man?
I'm not saying that the Costco's going to give you free stuff, but I'm saying if in Stockton the opportunity persists, we're not going to snitch ourselves out.
All right, fair enough.
That's on them. That's on them.
So what's on tap? What's on tap for your weekend viewing? For those that don't know, Corn Dog has been following the Olympics religiously. Like, dude's not sleeping. He's watching them while he's at work. So what are you looking for this weekend?
Looking forward to this weekend is we got some basketball, Team USA versus Puerto Rico, but we also have the other guys in our group. We got the Serbia versus South Sudan one. That's going to be important for the seeding to see, who we made playing in a first round.
Definitely.
Yeah,
definitely. I'm keeping my eyes on Canada and Germany. I want to see that matchup. I want to see how that's going to play out.
I did see the Greece game versus Australia today. It was pretty good. Greece almost blew it, like really almost blew it, but they snuck it out in the end. But
Giannis isn't used to playing for something. Usually he's hurt.
Yeah, it's been a long time. Him and Embiid have been that way for a long time. And, Embiid sat out a game against South Sudan. Obviously, we clearly didn't need him for that game. But he's really Bam's fine. But, it's basically just Bam and Embiid. And, they're no Patrick Ewing and David Robinson.
Yeah, it's funny. I talked about this the other day. Derek White, to me, has been the glue of that team. I don't know where that team would be at, honestly, without Derek White, because they've had some lulls, and I did not expect him to get the type of playing time that gets a lot of credit as well. but he's doing the little things that a lot of those guys just don't usually do. They're the stars of their teams. They're not the hustle guys most times. And so he's been great. I understand Jaylen Brown's a better player than him, but he is a better fit for Team USA. So credit to them for adding him to the roster.
Yeah, we picked a lot of those Boston guys, and they were a very good unit throughout the whole season. They've been contenders for the last couple of years. They added Drew Holiday, and they were a juggernaut the whole season. They were front running, and they never looked back. And we got guys Jaylen Brown, Derek White, Drew Holiday. There's Tatum. There's a lot of Celtics on there, and they were the best team. Yeah. KD's been great, but there's been a lot of other guys that just haven't been there. Embiid hasn't really shown up. Booker really hasn't shown up.
Yeah, Embiid. So South Sudan was a bad matchup for him. He's looked. I don't think he's come back as strong as Steve Kerr was hoping, because this was the first time coming into training camp that he really started playing again after, the end of the season, where he was really dinged up and dealing with some serious stuff.
Yeah. Embiid's, he's always going to have to deal with that. He's had nagging injuries since he came out of Kansas. That's just always been his thing. I can't rewrite it. I can't write it. I can't phrase it any different. We all know that's just how Embiid is. That's how he's been. Always MVP candidate, apparently a contender, but never makes it to the conference finals.
Yeah, well, we'll see. They added Paul George. This may be the push forward. So, hey, brother, I appreciate the call. Enjoy the Olympics this weekend.
Women's volleyball on Sunday.
Heck, oh, dude, you're all about the volleyball. Eyes up, corn dog. The ball's up here, all right, dude?
Technically the view is like from the side, so if I put my eyes up, I'm going to just be looking at the crowd.
Fair enough. All right, brother, be well. Thank you.
All right, man.
Later, corn dog. That is corn dog joining the show. Appreciate him. We are going to transition really quick. We are actually... You ready to talk some wrestling?
Acknowledge me.
You guys ready to get ready for SummerSlam taking place in beautiful Cleveland? Wait, what? Cleveland? No, they're doing it at the Cleveland Browns Stadium. That's going to be cool. Second biggest event of the year is what WWE says. I think the Royal Rumble is the second biggest event of the year. That is just me. Let's bring in our wrestling correspondent to break it down, go down the card, and then also talk about some of the rumors that we're hearing. Adam, what's up, man? Welcome in.
What's going on, Rhino?
Oh, excuse me. Let me give you a proper introduction.
Ladies and gentlemen, stop the pace. Introducing
Adam, the King's Court wrestling correspondent. All right,
let's go,
dude.
My man.
SummerSlam weekend. Alex, by the way, we'll get to you. Give me a call after we finish segment. Love to talk to you as well. But what up, Adam?
What's going on, my man? How are you?
I'm good. I am good. So SmackDown tonight. Before SummerSlam. So it's a live show. It's not taped. What are you looking forward to?
Well, so there's rumors that there might be a cage match with Cody and Solo. So we'll see if that happens tonight.
Tonight?
Well, no, tomorrow night, but they might make that official tonight. But those are some of the rumors. Like I said, I don't like messing with the rumors or the spoilers and stuff. It ruins it for me, but I had to indulge a little bit for this one.
Yeah, for sure. By the way, really quick, Alex, giving you a shout out for your podcast. Why don't you plug that really quick?
Yeah, thank you, Alex. So trying to get a couple podcasts off the ground right now. My internet provider decided to do an area outage today, so we're running bare bones off the phone.
You're playing hurt. I love it, Adam.
Yeah. And it was a struggle to actually get into the restream today, but we're here now. It's working, it's functioning. But anyways, the Casual Guy Cast, that's going to be my handle for all things wrestling mainly. I might break off and do a couple other different types of shows on that channel, but that's going to be my strictly wrestling channel. So check it out at The Casual Guy Cast on YouTube.
Where YouTube. All right. Perfect.
We're starting there. There.
Good stuff. Love it. All right. So WWE doing one night for SummerSlam. They're not breaking it into 2 nights. Where do you want to start on the card? I've got the card in front of me. I'll let you take the reins. Sure.
Yeah. All right. Let's just start with Nia Jax and Bayley. Who do you got for this? I'm gonna throw the matches at you. I want your take and who you think's gonna win, and then we can kind of chat about it.
All right, we're going opposite. I love it. I think Bayley's title run has been lackluster. I think that it's time for a change. Nia Jax has been a better and safer worker since she's been back. Then you've got Tiffany Stratton hanging around with the Nia Jax picture. It feels like it is a title change. Nia Jax wins the title on the big stage. No cash in.
Yeah, 100%. I'm with you. I think it is Nia Jax. And so, but I could, I think Tiffany will cash in if it's Nia Jax, but if it's Bayley, I don't think she cashes in. I think you've been given those hints where like Tiffy's afraid of Bayley and she hides behind Nia. And then, we had that moment where Tiffy almost cashed in a few Mondays ago or whatever it was. So I think Tiffy could cash in on Nia if she wins, but I don't think she cashes in if Bayley does.
Interesting. If she cashes in on Nia, does she win?
I don't think so. I don't think she does.
All right. So we've got that one down. Where are we going next?
Let's go. Damian Priest versus Gunther.
I had trouble seeing Priest as the champion almost his entire title run. In the last, I don't know, maybe month, I think it's gotten better. We talked about some of the mishaps that he's had, some his fault, some not his fault. He was allegedly pretty much knocked out last pay-per-view. I think, though, Gunther coming off of what he did with the IC title, I don't think he's going to have a run like that, but I do think it's time for a change. You've given Priest 6 months. I think that you are going to have Gunther, the new World Heavyweight Championship. Adam, your thoughts?
I am with you once again, 100%. Your new champion, the Ring General, Gunther.
Acknowledge me.
Yeah, I'm all in with Gunther. He's one of my favorites besides that, but kind of looking forward to the Drew McIntyre CM Punk fight. I think this could set up nicely for a title match between, I think specifically Drew McIntyre in the future versus Gunther. But we can go ahead and dive into the Drew McIntyre versus CM Punk match with Seth Rollins as the guest ref.
Really quick, we have to answer Derek's question. Name one thing better than Liv right now. I'm stumped, Derek. Adam?
One thing better.
Yeah.
How about Rhea Ripley? That's one thing better. And we'll talk about that.
Interesting. Derek, I'm with you, dude. Liv Morgan, a couple of weeks ago, her promo from the stands. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, that one had us all in our feelings. But here's another thing better than Liv Morgan. My birthday is next week, so my wife
Nice.
found this at the local Target. It's a Chelsea Green action figure. I'm a big Chelsea Green guy, so that's another thing that's better than Liv Morgan.
Nice. You know who did Chelsea a ton of favors? 100% was the ring announcer. How she started doing the Chelsea Green, you know?
Yeah,
like,
no, I love it.
Totally has worked out. It's even in her entrance theme now. Really quick, really quick before we jump ahead. I think that you have to, at this point, to your point about Gunther, the ring general, you got to have a heel champion because you've got too many faces that you need to elevate and probably chase for the championship.
Well, okay, so let's maybe talk about the Liv versus Rhea match before we get into the Drew stuff, right? First off, who do you got, Liv versus Rhea?
I think it's Liv. I think they extend this feud. I think there's still some money to be made there. And I actually think you might see Dom change and turn on Rhea. Although the easy thing is to have Rhea win the title here, I think Liv retains, and it gives her that really big, I don't want to say like that cement moment that really makes you a main eventer. Kind of like, you remember WrestleMania 24, Adam, when Orton went over Cena and Triple H in the triple threat match, and everybody's like, what? Orton won? You know, yeah. I think it's going to be Liv's moment.
I agree with you too, and I also agree that Dom is going to have some sort of interference with that match and help Liv win. Okay, so you were talking about the heels, right? In Priest, yeah. Priest versus Gunther, and I don't know that Judgment Day is like this totally heel faction. Like, I don't think Damian Priest is like the biggest heel that there could be. I think, like you said, in the last month or so, you know, maybe some of us have gained a little more respect for DP, and he's not like my least favorite guy. I actually like the guy quite a bit as the champion, but when you look at strictly a heel, that is Gunther.
100%.
And I think if Dom turns on Rhea, how does Dom become more of a heel? He's probably the biggest heel in the entire WWE right now.
I agree.
I think that while Dom helps Liv retain, Rhea's obviously going to dump Dom. So, okay. But I also think that Liv also dumps Dom, because what better revenge would it be on your enemy than to take your man and then push him to the side like you don't even want him? Like, I think that is a setup. So I think Rhea and Damian Priest end up leaving Judgment Day, which brings in Liv to Judgment Day, and Dom would stay there. So
interesting.
That's my big prediction. I've also got another one that we'll talk about.
Acknowledge me.
You can acknowledge me when you get a prediction in there like that. To your point about Damian Priest, the last month or so, he's been like a face. He's been a total face. They've built him up, like his story about obviously, not having much in New York City. It's that classic story, but I didn't see the Judgment Day curve coming. That is a very interesting play. I like it. Good creativity, Adam.
Yeah. So that's where I'm at with that one. Logan Knight versus LA Paul, or Logan.
That don't make no sense.
Logan Paul versus LA Knight. Sorry. My dyslexia is kicking in or something.
All good, brother.
I'll let you hit it.
I 100% LA Knight. I think Logan's had the title probably a little too long. It seems like Triple H is trying to have people hold the titles longer, but especially with what happened with Logan Paul coming out and making some comments about the Olympian and the boxing situation, I don't think they're going to want to put him over on a big stage. I think it's LA Knight.
Yeah, and they've been notorious for screwing Drew over in the UK. So why would they not do that to our buddy Logan Paul? So, yeah, I'm with you.
You know, WWE, that used to be like an unwritten rule where if it was your hometown, they would screw you over. They would like book you poorly. Rarely does somebody get over in their hometown. A little bit more now that Vince is gone.
That's brutal, man. I mean,
yeah.
Throw Drew McIntyre a bone, please. But yeah, I'm with you. I think it's LA Knight. I just think at this point, how do you not give LA Knight a belt? Like, the dude is maybe the most over besides Cody in the entire organization. So, I'm with you there.
It's funny you say that because not this last Money in the but the money before that. It's like when LA Knight like really started to get over, you know, kind of like that Zack Ryder over to where the crowd was really reacting. And everybody's like, why would they not give him Money in the Bank? And I was one of those people. But now, like, had he had a title run, let's just say he did win it and then he cashes in, I feel like he would have been one of those guys that just gets lost in the shuffle after that. Like, now I look at him like, he started off SmackDown. I think he started SmackDown the other night. And I'm like, this dude's a main eventer. So I think he has climbed the ranks correctly. And yeah, he is mega over. So we're on the same page.
100%. Yeah. And I think I can't think of a better belt for this guy to hold. Like, you know, I think it's similar to Gunther with the IC belt. Like, this is a perfect belt for him to hold so that he can carry that. Then he'll drop it, and then maybe he makes a push for one of the big belts.
Definitely. By the way, our man Patrick is off the clock.
Ladies and gentlemen, stop the pace! Introducing
Patrick from Long Island in the house. Love to have you here, Patrick. Thanks for coming in. All right, where are we going next, Adam?
All right, this one I think we might disagree on, but I'm going to go Sammy versus Braun Breaker for the IC belt.
Oh, man. After I just said that about LA Knight, right? Is it too soon?
Right. That's why I'm leading with that after that.
You know what? I'm going to use my one reverse. I'm going to throw the paper back at you, my man, and ask you, is it too soon for Braun Breaker? And conversely, if you beat him, are you ruining him? Like, they're in a tough spot. So your turn.
No, I think it is Sammy, because if we go, okay, we both think Gunther wins. We both think Nijax win. We both think LA Knight wins. That's 3 belt changes. Are they going to hit a 4th in the same night? I don't think so. And to your point, I think it is too soon. I think, like, maybe the old school part of me believes that Braun Breaker's he's got to take some losses and he's got to pay some dues before they hand him a belt. He's not Goldberg. And Goldberg won 163-0 or whatever the hell it was. Yeah. Who cares? But he's great, but I don't know about taking the WWE by storm like that. I think he's just got to cut his teeth a little bit and pay his dues a little bit more. And I don't think that's a bad thing. Sammy, I know we've talked about him being sort of like this transitional champion who takes belts away, and then he holds it for a little bit, and then they pass the torch. But I don't know if it's there yet, and I don't know if Braun Breaker makes sense for the IC champ. So I think it's Sammy, and I don't like saying that. I like Braun Breaker. I want this dude to be the best, but He's got to get his butt kicked once or twice before they hand him a belt.
He was on the Pat McAfee show today, and he speared a fan. Apparently, here's where it makes sense. I think you do have to keep it on Sammy so you can eventually come back to Chad Gable, because I don't think that story's over quite yet. Maybe they do a screwy finish, so Braun doesn't take the loss. It'll be interesting. By the way, about title changes, I read some of the rumors. I'm going to go rumor here. There could be a title change tonight on SmackDown with the women's tag team titles.
Gosh, who are you talking about?
Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill versus the Isla Dawn and something Fire.
Yeah. I mean, I don't love the Isla Dawn and oh gosh, yeah, I'm spacing on her name too. I mean, they are what they are, but are we going to go back to giving them the tag team belts? That seems kind of lame to me.
I think you have to, because the other two have no momentum, and I think they're ultimately working towards a Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill feud, which would culminate probably at WrestleMania. So you gotta strap them again, let them have a little time, and then have one screw the other over.
Well, why the hell did you take it off them in the first place then?
Because they needed to have a title change overseas in Scotland, and those two are Scottish.
Okay. Yes. Great point. Yeah, 100%. But two relatively no-name people beating Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill, the whole thing never made sense to me to begin with, but okay, yeah, you know what? I'll give you that.
All right, cool.
Strap them back up. Let's do it.
Strap them back.
Acknowledge me.
All right, so where are we going next?
We got two more
through the card. All right,
we got Drew McIntyre versus CM Punk with Seth Rollins as referee.
Oh man, I have no idea, dude. I really don't know. In fact, when they wasted the Money in the Bank, I quit caring. At this point, I'm confused about who doesn't like each other. Although I do think Seth Rollins and his outfits are freaking hilarious. No pun on the word freaking there. But I probably Punk.
I'm with you. I think it's Punk, and I think it's reminiscent of the Cody versus Roman storyline, where it's like Drew's just going to keep getting beat, and then one day he's going to get over on CM Punk when it really matters. And so maybe that sets up, going back to the Priest Gunther thing, if Gunther wins, now the winner of this match, or Seth Rollins or something, takes on Gunther for the title, and then I think eventually you have some sort of CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre for the heavyweight champ match, or I would love to see a Drew McIntyre versus Gunther heavyweight title match. I think that would be killer. Those guys are both huge and they kill it, so I would love to see that.
Before CM Punk got hurt, he was supposed to wrestle Rollins at WrestleMania. So I don't know if don't go back to CM Punk, giving him his WrestleMania moment, which he has never had, and have him battle McIntyre somehow at WrestleMania. I don't know. We'll see. So, all right. Last one.
Well,
go ahead.
Last thing real quick with that. I think what's really cool about this match between McIntyre and Punk is that not either one is like a super baby face or a super heel. I feel like the crowd is legitimately split down the middle here. And,
good point.
You hear chants from both sides of the fandom there. So I'm excited for that one.
Very good point. Alberto, it's on WWE Network, on Peacock. There's ways to get it for free, and I'm not promoting that, but Alberto, I can send you a link or two if you don't want to pay for it.
All right, last up. Cody versus Solo.
I'll have that in a second. I was just going to say, to your point really quick, it's a smart crowd tomorrow. There's a lot of people for these big events that travel from around the world, that travel all over the country. So I think you make a brilliant, brilliant argument about both those guys kind of being heels, kind of being faces, where the crowd is going to be super split.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'll be a fun one. I'm probably looking forward to that one the most.
Cool. All right, Cody and Solo. This is, to me, 100% where Roman Reigns returns.
Acknowledge me.
It's set up well. He's been out long enough. I think that Cody gets over on Solo, and then you transition to a bloodline feud with Roman. I don't know if it's also where Jimmy comes back. If there's another Fatu out there, there might be. Who knows? It seems like they grow on damn trees that might be in Roman's camp now. But yeah, and by the way, I know I texted you this offline. What's the Jacob Fatu?
Yeah.
This dude, Solo, I've been knocking him for looking like a driver. He's always wearing these stupid gloves. I think his mic skills suck. He wears the same suit every week, and his entrance sucks. And this Jacob Fatu guy, this dude's got a star entrance. He's got pyro. He's a freaking badass. I can't take Solo serious anymore. That's just me personally, especially now that he's standing next to him.
Yeah, you you texted me and I wasn't watching it at the time. I hopped on with our boy Horse, but yeah, you're 100% right. Like, they gave the dude pyros, and Solo's been around for 2 damn years, and his entrance sucks. So, what are we doing here? But you know, did they set Solo up for failure? No, because I think the onus falls on Solo and his mic skills. It's just not there. And, you know, he might be getting better, but I think the writing's on the wall that Jacob Fatu is like, he's better than all 3 of those guys. Solo's a good wrestler, but I think Jacob brings a little more to the table. The Cody versus Solo, you know, I think we all know that there's no chance Cody loses the belt tomorrow, but I think it's exactly what you hit on. Does Roman Reigns return? You and I have been split on this in the last month or so, and I've said no, he doesn't return. But I've been thinking about it a little bit more, and it's, if not now, when? And, you know, like you said, SummerSlam is the second biggest event of the year, probably. I do love Royal Rumble as well, but, you know, there's no bigger opportunity than tomorrow. And so I do think, I'll say this. I think if Jimmy returns, Roman returns at some point. I think Jimmy would come out first. I think it'd be like, that's if fair. There's a bloodline rush against Cody, here comes Jay, and then out of nowhere, here comes Jimmy. And then at the very end, you get Roman come out and help out Cody, which sounds bizarre, but I could see it happening. And then, you know, maybe even a Sami Zayn, because Sami Zayn and Jay have been hooking up the last couple of weeks to help fight Judgment Day, which is bizarre. But, you know, I think if that all comes to place, now you've got the old school bloodline versus the new bloodline, sort of reminiscent of like an NWO versus Wolfpack back in the day. So that would be my major big prediction, shooting for the stars with that. But if Jimmy doesn't reunite with Jay, where does he fit in?
I don't think you can reunite that. I don't think you can. Jay's too hot right now. He's on his way up, my man.
I know, and I get that, but he doesn't do it for me as a solo guy. And so I would love to see those two back together. I would love to see like the old bloodline back together with Sami Zayn. Somehow
Sammy was good. Yes.
Sammy was great in the bloodline. So we'll see.
So I'm really torn because you've got me now thinking, because the Roman thing is so obvious. And are they going to go obvious? And I'm thinking back to the way they did the CM Punk return, right? So, oh, man. Alex says, I love that setup for Roman returning from Adam. Hope that happens. Yeah, we'll see. We will know once we are back on the air Monday. Dude, great job. I think we covered it all, brother. Thank you for playing.
We hit it.
We did. Tell everybody where they can find your wrestling podcast again.
Yeah, 100%. So I'll probably do like a weekly thing, and it will be at The Casual Guy Cast on YouTube. So we'll start branching out to like Twitch and different stuff like that once I can figure it all out and get my setup, and maybe some internet too. That would be fantastic. But yeah, that's where I'll be, and I can throw it out in the chat if that's cool with you. Whatever.
Cool. All right, brother. Well, thank you so much. That was a great segment. Love it, man.
Thank you.
All right. That is go ahead.
You know you got to be my first guest, right?
Dude, I'd love to. Absolutely.
Okay, let's go.
Dial it up. You just let me know. I'll be there, brother.
Put it in the books.
Put it in the books. Send them to the line. Who used to say that? I don't know. We'll see. All right, brother. Be well. That is Adam. Really damn good job there. The SummerSlam rundown. Loving it, loving it, loving it. Yes, Haunted Horse is in the audience. And yes, CT, I see you still talking about it. We can continue that as well. Tin, let's bring him up really quick. What's up, Tin? How you doing, man?
Rhino, it's cool. How are you?
Doing great.
Cool. I am so happy to come on and see that you guys are on WWE Talk. So.
Absolutely, my man. Let me give you a proper entrance. Hold on.
Ladies and gentlemen, stop the pain. Introducing
Tin. All right, now we're in.
Rhino. So since 2005, I watched the Royal Rumble, John Cena and Batista, and I love WWE superstars, how they venture into movies.
Yeah.
I was really impressed with John Cena in his feature cameo in Fast and Furious 10, where he sacrificed himself. I literally got chills from that right now because I followed this man. I had his action figure, all his DVDs, his Word Life, brass knuckles, but they were foam.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about. That's crazy. You know what? How old are you, Tin, if you don't mind me asking?
I turned 28 this June.
Okay, so you grew up with John Cena. That was your Hulk Hogan.
Hulkamania.
Yeah. So, what do you think they're going to do with Cena? He kind of announced that this is going to be like his last year. I haven't seen a ton of his movies, but I've seen a few. I've seen some of the comedy ones, but what do you think he's going to do? Do you think he'll win it'll be his 17th championship to beat Flair, right?
Wow. He's so decorated, 16-time. I would hope, he can continue on. I know Randy Orton's made a comeback, but Ryan, John Cena used to play football. I wonder if he has any sports insight, if he could show up on a panel on ESPN and give some thoughts, like Lil Wayne, how he goes to talk to Skip Bayless.
So Cena does a lot of stuff with NBC Universal. So I'm not sure if you watch like the Today Show and some of those morning shows. He'll be on from time to time that extra hour where he's one of the hosts.
Dang.
Yeah. He's all over the place, my man.
Yeah. C Nation.
C Nation. All right. You going to be watching SummerSlam tomorrow?
Yeah, if I could find a way to get this pay-per-view. But maybe I could watch the recap of you guys talking about on Monday.
Okay, sounds good, man. We'll enjoy it. Don't be surprised. Cena shows that surprised me whatsoever. So appreciate you, Tin. Have a great weekend, brother.
Appreciate you, Rhino. Same to you, brother.
All right. That is 10. He's a Cena man. I love it. I love it. In the chat, I'm going to ask you really quick. Are you a Cena or an Orton person? I've always been an Orton person, but I got to meet him and spend some time with him. So that's why I think I'm a little bit more partial there. And his tattoos are freaking sick. Anyways, the moment all of you have been waiting for, the King's Court Friday rodeo clown is here intact with his 19 divorce settlements in the back of his trailer all the way down I-5 from Portland.
Ladies and gentlemen, stop the pain. Introducing
Haunted freaking horse. Welcome in.
So, I'm always right, so I got to correct you. Don't worry, my mom does it too. It's not all the way down I-5. I'm up. I'm up.
I'm sorry.
My mom does it too.
Sorry.
Hey, we're going to come down and see you. No, Mom, I'm up.
But you're coming down to me. So that's why I said down.
I understand, but you're like, okay, I get it. So I'm always trying to help out the next generation, right? Just like Grant has helped you out.
Yes.
And, Adam is going to start getting into this space, and I hope he's still watching because I got some advice for him. Okay, Adam?
Hold on really quick. Hold on really quick. This will be the start of the Royal Rumble. If you guys want to come up,
yes,
start coming up right now. We'll bring you up. We can bring up as many people as that show up. So go ahead, horse.
Yeah, I don't bite much. So come on in here. Join the group. We the record is 9, I believe. We want to break that record. Okay. So I got some advice for you, Adam. I listened to all your stuff. I will say one thing. I am not going to tune in to your weekly wrestling podcast because I don't have to. You told us everything here. You don't come on Ryan's show and give him your best stuff. You give him a couple of things, nuggets to interest the crowd. And then when he asks you more, you go, you know what, Ryan, I'm going to give those answers on my show. So if anyone's interested in those answers, it'll be on my show. I got a Haunted Horse show today at 5:00. You think I'm going to give all my best stuff here on this show so that it helps this guy? No, I'm not going to. So save your goodies, your best stuff.
First off, before Adam had a podcast, he was the wrestling correspondent here.
But so things are changed.
I would expect to still get some insight that he would spit on his podcast.
Give you a couple of nuggets.
I'm going to let him defend himself.
But when it comes to the good stuff, you save it for your own show.
Adam, are you taking advice from this guy?
Why would anyone take advice from this guy? I mean, 2 failed marriages. No, I'm kidding. I absolutely am taking advice from you. But we're at the infancy. I got to throw some of these hot takes out there to get people into my channel as well, sir.
I understand that. But why am I going to watch this show? You just told me everything I needed to know about a subject that I don't care to know about. But
well, you don't know until you watch.
I'm all about now. The good part is you didn't give up any conspiracy cops stuff. So now I got to go, I got to watch Conspiracy Cops because he didn't share any of those stories, and I am interested in the Mandela effect.
Thank you for saying cops a second time because I wasn't sure that you said cops the first time.
Don't make no sense.
So, wait, do the instant replay. Oh, this show doesn't have that. Never mind.
Actually, no, hold on. I got the instant replay. Hold on.
Hit him.
Boop.
Oh,
peace. Goodbye. So long. I'll bring him back up. We'll give him a second chance. So, but no, you know what? Here's the deal. Mr. Moss, he's a prime example of this. Alex, I will let him pimp his stuff here as well. You know, like one of the most important lessons that Grant taught me, and by no means am I anywhere. I am still cutting my teeth and paying my dues, but it's paying it forward. So if you are somebody that is trying to get into this business, trying to do a podcast, somebody that has aspirations to do anything like this, and you're doing it the right way. Seriously, you're doing it the right way. That's what matters, and you're serious about it. I am more than happy to allow you. Some people are probably like, why is Haunted Horse talking about his show at 5 and Adam talking about his podcast? It's because they're doing it the right way. I want to pay it forward. Go check them out. The more, the merrier. But I think that's really important.
We on our shows pimp your show, and Adam gave us shout outs. We all help each other because a rising tide floats all boats, or whatever the hell that saying is.
Definitely.
And that extended help or whatever I'm trying to say, I am really good on the technical side. So I offered that help on this show. I believe when I was in your house, in your studio, and 2 of your viewers reached out to me and said, hey, I would like to do it. I don't know where to start technically. So I'm willing to help. I'm helping Adam. I answered some questions on how he could get started. And then you have another viewer that has reached out to me that wants to do something. So
great. I love it.
Always here to help.
More than anything, I appreciate the forum for me to be able to get on your guys' shows for a little bit and get some reps. So thank you both very much for all your help with everything.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're right. You know what, BJ? You're right. That was the wrong.
Don't make no sense.
Help.
That's a Jim Rome word.
Yes. That is where the clone comes into it.
Yeah.
Juggle to a degree. So really, I have a story that I want to talk to you guys about. This is sports related. So check this out. This is what is called, I don't want you guys to be that small. So these are the Logo Man cards. If you remember, we had Emran on the show, and we were talking, Emran, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectibles out in Rockland. We were talking about these different types of cards and the type of money that people are paying, that they spend to break a pack. Well, this Logo Man card, or these Logo Men card, are from Flawless. If you're not familiar with Flawless, they come in a suitcase. I believe there's between 5 and 8 cards. You're guaranteed to have at least one of one card, or a card that's a 1 of 1. So these briefcases cost upwards of $10,000. Just this last weekend, it was the National, which is the biggest card show. It as of now, it's the biggest card show. I think Fanatics Fest is going to take that over in the near future. They're having their first one actually next week in a couple of weeks in Brooklyn. But to get to the point, there's been a controversy. There are people and vendors that are scanning these Flawless briefcases through CAT scan machines to look for the Logo Men cards.
Yeah. Wow.
And if they see the logo, they keep it for themselves, or they push it at a much higher price. And then anything without the logo, they feel more comfortable selling, because some of these logo cards go for upwards of $2-3 million.
Wow. So this is not new. Oh, I'm sorry, Adam.
No, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, this is not a new thing. This goes back to all the wax pack Topps cards, where vendors would sell they sell boxes now, unopened boxes or unopened packs, but they melt the wax, they open it up, they pull out any Mickey Mantle rookies or whatever, put it back, heat it up again, let the wax seal the pack so it looks brand new. This has been going on, but that's interesting. CAT scan machines. Wow. That's sad. That really is.
It's not the easiest thing to acquire a CAT scan machine.
No, but for $2-3 million, you will.
Well, they're not buying them. They're paying medical professionals off to be hey, can you run this through for, $200, $300, whatever it may be. But it's crazy, guys. It's nuts.
As someone who's had a CAT scan before, save your comments. That's another 10 grand in the bank right there alone. So now you're investing 20 grand. Let's say it doesn't have it. What are you going to flip this thing for?
Yeah, but you get your $10,000 back when you sell it. I mean,
Adam, the
if
CAT
you
scan.
got 5 or 6 or 7 of them and you get one of those $2-3 million ones, it paid for all of your CAT scans for all of your cards. I mean,
100%. But if you don't have one, now what do you do with it? I mean, obviously, no one knows what's in there, but.
Well, they're paying them the $10,000, and I'm sorry, your insurance is that expensive. The $10,000 for a CAT scan.
Well, that
is
was
like
you
the
know
insurance cost. It costs them not nearly as much to run that damn machine. Also on the card front, the NFLPA has lost a $7 million suit, or it went to mediation to Panini, who is actually one of the bigger card brands as well. So it was in an arbitration over last year's termination of the exclusive contract between the union and the trading card company. The Players Association ditched Panini after Fanatics hired away several of its key employees. The union relied on a clause allowing the contract to be broken after a quote-unquote change in control at Panini. So the reason I'm bringing this up, one, is it's card related, but two, does it sound familiar with what's going on with the NBA, Amazon, and Turner? Sounds very familiar.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then NFL just had that suit against them for 4 billion thrown out by a judge. Did you talk about that yet? That was thrown out.
It talks about. Well, it wasn't thrown out. It was the judgment.
The judgment was thrown out.
Not,
said the jury relied on 2 professionals that shouldn't have been admitted in the case or something. By the way, real quick, going back to wrestling, BJ says, "Calm down, horse. Bad mindset, horse." Does that make me the heel on this Royal Rumble?
You are a complete heel.
I'm the heel. Screw all you. I'll yell and be a bad mindset all I want.
Do you know what a heel is? I can't believe you know. And I'm not talking about the piece of bread.
Well, he flips.
Yeah.
He goes from being Mr. Nice Guy and he backstabs you.
The heel is the bad guy.
Yes. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm the heel. He's calling
okay. Let me ask you another question. Do you know what a tweener is?
A tweener. I mean, it's between. I don't know what it is in wrestling.
You don't know what a tweener is?
I've heard it in relationship to age, like you're between a child and an adult. You're in that tweener stage.
Yeah, it's when you're in between a face, which is called a baby face in wrestling, and a heel.
Oh, got it. Oh, a tweener. Nice.
Tweener. Yes.
Nice. Sam,
I used to know what teeners were back when I was like 23.
What's a teener?
I'll let you Google that.
All right. I know what a tween is. That's someone that I think your son. Well,
gentlemen, we are on Grant Napier's platform. Let's keep it clean, please. This is not Adam's podcast or the Haunted Horse Show.
You might be referring to him because I don't know what that word is.
So. Okay.
Yeah, that's more of a water hole question, maybe.
Or the Haunted Horse Show. If you want to hear what he's talking about, he can come on my show this afternoon and tell us.
Yeah, let's not go
that is.
I don't know if you'll hear it there either.
All right. Moving along. Yeah, Bane, I'm not reading that either. I'm already getting in trouble. I'm the heel. I know what a heel is when you're eating bread. No one wants the heel.
Yeah, if you're not cheating, you're not trying. So who was it that said they met Goldberg? Let's go back up. Kevin, what's up, Kevin? I gotta get Kevin next week. The tickets. I'm gonna use that. So thank you for sending that to me. So my fast trip to the town my parents live in near San Antonio, Texas, was walking around a car show. I got to meet WWE Hall of Famer Bill Goldberg. Dude was so chill, and we talked about cars for 20. Nice. Did he charge you for a photo, Kevin? No, I'm serious. I mean, those guys, that's how they make their money these days.
You don't get photos anymore.
Yeah, Let me tell you something about Bill Goldberg.
What about Bill Goldberg?
Oh, no, that's just the famous Bret Hart hates his guts.
Yeah, well, he should. He kicked his head off and ended his career. Goldberg was not a safe worker. Yeah, he was not a safe. Goldberg wasn't even a good worker. Let's be real about it.
Worker.
Did you see the video of him throwing that guy?
Goldberg.
I did not. A worker means wrestler.
Oh, got it. All right.
The video where Bill Goldberg threw that guy at the golf tournament into the pond and almost smashed him on the rocks on the way in there.
Was that at the Tahoe tournament?
I don't know where it was, but yeah, Goldberg, this guy like tried to play around and rush Bill Goldberg like he was going to spear him, and Goldberg takes him and throws him into the pond and almost dropped him on a couple of big boulders on his way in
Oh
there.
my gosh. All right, we're going 4 deep with the Royal.
Ladies and gentlemen, stop the pace. Introducing
Alex. What's up, man?
Audio only.
Alex, you there? Oh, Alex fell off. Never mind. Yeah. Oh, is Alex? Do I have to do an intro for him again? Hold on.
Ladies and gentlemen, stop the pace. Introducing
Alex, what's up, man? Yep, not gonna work. Alex, having some tech issues. That's all right. Thanks for making it work, by the way, today, Adam.
He's got Adam's internet.
He might. Do you live in? Well, I'm not going to say that, but
What internet company you have, or do you mind, or do you want to say?
Spectrum.
I knew it was Spectrum. I have yet to meet anybody that has Spectrum that likes that company. Everybody hates that company. Sorry. Did I yell at you?
What? Oh, sorry, I fell asleep.
Everyone I know that has that company, all the way to Silk Bra to a friend I have in New York, nobody likes Spectrum. Dog scans, cat scans. Come on, BJ. Hey, quit hiding in the chat. Get your ass in here.
Like, if you're going to do a planned outage, do it anytime besides a Friday night afternoon. Like,
yeah,
we had another one a couple of weeks ago on a Saturday. I'm like, come on.
Yeah, like the video game I play, they have to do server updates. They always do them at like Tuesday at 2 a.m. so that the least amount of people that you're going to inconvenience. Yeah,
but it's still an inconvenience. Any outage is an inconvenience.
But during work hours, when my wife works from home, what's she supposed to do? Take the day off?
Google Fiber. I have not heard of Google Fiber. I have Fidium, which is excellent.
Google Fiber was one of the first ones to start rolling out. They call those moonshot projects, where they were going to go, and then they started running to all these regulations. Portland was approved, and then they started finding out that Portland's full of regulations. They wanted $10 per pole to wire it, and they like, yeah, you can go beat sand, Portland, and yeah, we lost that on Google Fiber. What are you gonna do? $10 a pole? They're gonna be like,
beat sand?
That don't make no sense.
I've never heard beat sand.
Pound sand.
Pound sand. Yes.
There it is.
All right, we're gonna try Alex one more time. Let's see if he's here. Alex, you there? Alex,
hey, what's up, guys?
There he is.
What's up, man? Welcome to the Royal Rumble.
Hey, what's up, man? I'm on the road, so I have my my screen turned off right now.
All good.
Yeah, how you guys doing?
Great, man.
Good. Alex, we're doing great.
Is this Jake from State Farm? He sounds like Jake from State Farm from the commercial. All right, guys, let's get ready to wrap this thing up. I will go to Haunted Horse first. Plug your show. Last thoughts.
Yeah, I got the show. You go to HollywoodRejects.com, click on the water hole. It's got Ryan's face on it. The link that says live. Don't worry, he won't be there. So you can watch and get away from this guy. And HollywoodRejects.com, and do the Haunted Horse show at 5. I added 3 new drinks. So there's a couple people that watch the show that are in the chat or on the air. So 3 new drinks. I have an open bar, and I do have soda pop for people like me that do not partake. And have a good weekend, Ryan. Have a good weekend, Adam. When's your next show, Adam? I know.
Yeah, so we'll be doing probably another The Casual Guy cast next week after Monday Night Raw and SummerSlam. And then we're shooting for a Conspiracy Cops episode August 10th.
That's what I want.
Saturday with me and my buddy David. We'll be talking about Mandela Effect and just any kind of weird conspiracies, supernatural, all that kind of stuff. So
weird is good. All right,
we're gonna get all this stuff kicked off here soon.
All right, you can dump me. That was my last question. I just want to know what days to look for his stuff.
Got it. Got it. Well, appreciate it. Have a great show tonight, dude.
Later,
love you, brother.
Yes,
all
sir.
right, Adam. Last word. SummerSlam, all set, ready to go.
Yeah, I think that's all I got to say. I'm looking forward to tonight's SmackDown, and you know, I hope we don't see a cage fight for SummerSlam between Cody and Solo. I hope they keep it open, and that opens the door for Jimmy and Roman to return and reunite the old school bloodline. They were the biggest heels, and now I think they have an opportunity to be the biggest faces.
For sure. All right, dude. Appreciate the wrestling segment.
Thanks.
Looking forward to seeing the new podcast. You're the man. I'm sure we'll be talking this weekend about SummerSlam.
100%.
All right, brother. Be well. That is Adam. Go check out his stuff. Thank you all so much. It has been a fun week. Yes, Fridays are a little bit more casual around here on the King's Court. Make sure to remember tomorrow morning. You know what? I can't. Baki Tadora. I've got 1 minute. I got to bring you guys up. I got 1 minute. What's up? You guys celebrating Novak's win today?
Nole won. He's got in the final. Nole is in the final on the Olympics.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I didn't watch it.
He's out of it. He's watching Halloween for the 100th time.
No, this is 2.
Okay, part 2. Okay, Noel is gonna play, but let's see what's gonna happen. I'm not 100 positive for him, but if he bring it up in the final against Alcaraz, man, it's gonna be a wild scenes on all over the Kshatriya court.
Yeah, dude, I'm pulling for him. He is gutting it out. You could tell he had some beautiful shots today, by the way. Nice touch. So really enjoyed it. You guys have any plans for the weekend?
No plans.
No
Tomorrow,
plans.
yes.
Okay, we're gonna go and walk all together, and the most of the day Olympics, and that's it.
Sweet. Well, I love it. Well, I just wanted to say a quick hi. Tadora, you're getting called to action. Patrick wants a holy moly Jim Bob Bully.
And then normal. Go.
What?
One holy moly. He asked you to do one holy moly.
Holy Jim Bob Bully.
Boom. There it is. You two have a great weekend. Thanks so much for wrapping up the show.
See you tomorrow.
Right. Bye. Had to get them in late. They came in late, dude. I was gonna end the show, but I can't. I cannot, in good conscience, not bring them up for a quick second. They are amazing. All right, y'all. It has been a very fun week. Make sure that you pay attention. Tomorrow morning, you will have a brand new King's Court Morning Shoot Around on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and we will be starting the recap of last season, looking at every single game beginning tomorrow, since we are 81 days away from the start of the NBA season, with game number 1 against the Utah Jazz this last year. So make it a great one. Enjoy SummerSlam. Thank you to everybody who shows up for this show live. I so appreciate each and every one of you. Don't forget, make sure you are following us on the X if you aren't already. And if you are, thank you very much as well. Huge thanks to Bennett's Westside Grill for sponsoring today's show. And if you don't like that, we're going to hit Tadora one more time.
Holy moly Jim Bob bowling.
There we go. Go Kings, light the damn beam. Stay away from Levine, as my boy BJ says. Tador's in the audience. I can't say a bad word with that, BJ. Court is dismissed.